is in left. Alex Cole in center. Dante Bichette will be in right. Left side of the infield, of course, Charlie Hayes is the story. He is at third. Vinny Castilla is at short. Roberto Mejia, the youngster who has looked so good, is at second. The big cat, Galarraga, is at first. Jay Owens is the catcher. And there is the third baseman, Charlie Hayes.
Extremely pleased to be back into the starting lineup, and he'll only get a couple at bats today, but he told Don Baylor that he was ready, and Don Baylor listened to him and penciled him in the lineup.
And on the mound is Mark Knutson.
Knutson, in his third start, has earned an average at 3.
Higgins hitting .318 in the spring. Hayes edges in on the grass at third. Knutson delivers a strike. 0-1 the count to Kevin Higgins. Fly ball right center field. And Alex Cole makes the play, and we have one away. So with one down, that'll bring up Craig Shipley.
The shortstop, number 18.
Shipley, the shortstop.
Shipley.
And he is hitting .407 in the spring. San Diego last year, he hit .248 in 52 ball games. He did hit .429 as a pinch hitter. Swinging at the first pitch, and Castilla throws him out, and very quickly we have two away.
Well, I'm afraid Shipley is going to see a few more at bats than the low number he had last year with Tony Fernandez gone. Shipley is going to be the guy that they'll be counting on.
Number 57.
And here's the center fielder, Jarvis Brown. Anemic numbers for Jarvis, hitting only .091. Minnesota Twins part of the last 2 years. And he looks at a call strike. .0-1 the count to Brown. Top of the first inning, 2 away, and we have no score. This is fouled off. Mark Knutson of Denver on the mound. Working very quickly today. Another warm afternoon in Tucson. The temperature is going to get into the low 80s. We have a bit of a cloud cover and just a touch of a breeze. And he comes inside for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Jarvis Brown. In 1990, he was in Orlando. He hit .260. He hit home runs in 3 straight ball games on August 9th, 10th, and 11th. That was 3 years ago in the minors. 2-2 the count of Jarvis Brown.
And you can see compact build, and usually those guys can generate a lot of power if they get their pitch.
And he fouls this one off.
It appears, however, that Jarvis Brown is having a hard time. And you can see one happy fan.
Yes.
She brought her glove.
Yes.
What did we tell you?
Yes. Shine her up.
Bring your glove.
All right. Yes. Bring your glove. Stay alert.
And you never know what you might find in it if you bring your glove.
That's right. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Jarvis Brown. He is one of the outfielders on the bubble for the Padres. Knutson comes high. Then we have the first full count of the afternoon. If you were with us in our telecast last night, and Don Baylor, he said he was concerned about the full counts, and the Oakland A's took the Padre pitching staff to 11 full counts. Here's the offer. And he walks in. So after getting out in front of Jarvis Brown, then Knutson loses him to the walk.
And fourth, the first baseman, number 23, Diego Padres.
Guillermo Velasquez, the first baseman, hitting .219. Of course, he's on a road of no return, as Fred McGriff will be the first baseman for the San Diego Padres. Jarvis Brown, the runner at first.
The way things are going, though, Charlie, you never know how long McGriff will be in San Diego.
That is true.
The way that organization has turned over so many players. Interesting look today at 2 organizations
the San Diego Padres ever so close to being a contender a year ago. And now they have gotten rid of almost everybody. And the Colorado Rockies, with much more enthusiasm and much more of a building mentality, and really looking forward to the season. Spring training, of course, you can always see the speakers in the shot. Just as a gentle reminder. And Knudsen steps up. Interesting, as he was working the first two batters, he was working very quickly. And he got ahead of Jarvis Brown very quickly. Then he started to slow down his tempo. And now with Brown aboard, he has really put on the brakes.
Slow the pace down.
Grounding ball to the second to lead it off. Roberto Mejia at second, followed by Darrell Boston in left field, Dante Bichette in right, Andres Galarraga at first, Charlie Hayes at third, Vinny Castillo's at short, Jay Owens the catcher you saw just a moment ago, and Mark Knudsen is on the mound, and he will be hitting ninth. And here is Alex Cole to lead it off. Fly ball left field. Pegues is under it and takes it. We have one away. Defensively for San Diego is on the mound, and he delivers to Roberto Mejia, and this youngster has been the talk of spring training.
You see the numbers for Harris, 1-1 this spring, and he has had a good spring. Charlie has a good riding fastball and an excellent curveball. He needs to work more on a changeup. Otherwise, he's been a two-pitch pitcher, and he's had success being a two-pitch pitcher, and that's unusual.
He is scheduled for the Padres to be their second starter in the rotation. Outside edge, 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Roberto Mejia. Mejia hitting .378. He has a pair of home runs. He has 10 RBIs that ties him with a few others for second in the National League in the spring. 3 doubles, no triples. He has a stolen base. Fouls off the breaking pitch. Now you may wonder, as well as he's playing, if he's going to make the big club. He is not going to make the big club. He'll be playing in Colorado Springs. The highest that he has played is Class A ball in Vero Beach, and that's too big a jump, but they'll take him to Colorado Springs AAA ball just an hour down the highway, and he will get a lot of action there, a lot of playing time in, and should, of course, any injuries happen, and he can join the club immediately. Boy, what a great future this young man has.
Oh, indeed he has. And, of course, what he did is he showed everybody in this camp that he can play. And they all remember him.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count, and he strikes him out. So that is the first strikeout in the ball game for Greg Harris. And we have 2 away.
Talked about the repertoire of Greg Harris. Here's the riding fastball that I talked about. Right up there, chest high. And you have to be really strong or really quick to hit a high fastball, and Mejia could not do it.
So we have 2 away in the bottom of the first inning. We have no score. The San Diego Padres and the Colorado Rockies. And here's the left fielder, Darrell Boston, hitting .387. He has hit safely in 9 of the 12 games that he has played in his spring training. And he looks at a called strike. 0-1 the count to Darrell Boston. 1 home run, 6 RBIs, and he has 4 stolen bases to his credit. Check swing, strike call. 0-2 the count to Boston. The Padres will. He leaves it outside, and Boston hits it to left field. It gets past Pegues. And Darrell Boston is at second with a double. And that is the first hit off of Greg Harris.
Now Darrell Boston continues to stroke the ball well, goes the other way. Take a look at the opposite field swing by Darrell Boston. And then Pegues thought about diving. Then he looked like he backed off just before the dive, and it gets by him and enables that runner to go into second base.
So Boston is aboard at second. Dante Bichette is the hitter. We have 2 away, bottom of the first. And the Rockies with an early opportunity with Boston in scoring position.
Charlie, rule of the thumb if you're playing the outfield, if you cannot catch the ball in the air, then make sure you keep the ball in front of you to keep that hitter from ending up in scoring position. And Pegues did not do that.
And the 1-0 pitch. And he misses outside for a ball, too.
I think if you're Pegues, you have to make an all-out attempt to try to catch the ball, but he hesitated just before he dove for it, and that's what made it a bad play.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. And the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike.
There we saw a good changeup from Greg Harris. We mentioned earlier that it's a pitch he really has to use. And how about throwing it 2-0 when that hitter is sitting on a fastball? Good spot to throw it.
Bichette basically a pull hitter. Just about 50% of his hits go to left field. And as we commented last night, he's working on his strikeout walk ratio. And this is in the power alley, but the center fielder, Jarvis Brown, moves over and makes the play. No runs on a hit, a man left, 1 complete. We have no score. San Diego catcher to lead off the top of the second inning for San Diego. 1-0 the count today.
And now I can concentrate on the other 3 or 4 balls that are going to be hit my way.
What did he say about his legs? That he's tired of riding the bicycle?
Couldn't stand riding the bike. And that's one of the other reasons he was dying to get in the lineup.
Kevin Ward is the hitter. Right fielder for San Diego. Hitting only 133. And a call strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Knudsen. And he misses high, and the count goes to 1-1. A ball and a strike to Kevin Ward. Ward, the right fielder. Little check swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes a count to Kevin Ward. And the 2-2 pitch. Off of the handle. And Mejia makes the play, and we've got 2 away. Hot dogs, peanuts, and cold beer. They're all a part of the Rockies baseball experience. When beer is a part of your game day menu, Coors Brewing Company encourages you to enjoy our products responsibly. And please use a designated driver. Here's the left fielder, Steve Pegues. And the sun beats down in Arizona.
That's right. It is not raining.
No. Inside. When we were talking to Jay Owens before the ball game, he said he was so proud. About 6 years old, he got Johnny Bench's autograph. He said, and just the way it's supposed to happen. Here's the pitch. The new bumper sticker, Ski Tucson. Here's the big cat, Andres Galarraga, to lead it off. Bottom of the second inning. No score here at High Corbett Field between the San Diego Padres and the Colorado Rockies. Galarraga, a 5-game hitting streak. And make that 6. As he opens the bottom of the second with a single to left. Don't miss the Dodge Dakota Midwinter Blowout. See your Dodge dealer today.
Third baseman.
And now we'll take a look at the third baseman, Charlie Hayes. He's been taking batting practice for over a week. And that injury to his right thumb has not been bothering him at all. And he looks at a pitch that's outside.
Well, I'm sure Charlie Hayes realizes that no matter how much batting practice you take, it is never the same as when you stand in there against a major league pitcher with the quality of a Greg Harris. It would be nice to think that you're just going to come out with a hot bat. But if it were that easy, there'd be a lot more guys standing in line at the major league level.
And a lot more hot bats, too.
That's right. So it'll be a little while for Charlie, and I think the key thing for him is that he gets himself in hitting shape in that he's healthy.
Don Baylor said he really wouldn't have the heart of his spring training until about the middle of next month, because he has to look at some live pitching. A ball and a strike to Charlie Hayes. Galarraga the runner at first. And we have nobody out, no score, bottom of the second inning. San Diego Padres and the Colorado Rockies. Pitch to the plate, a swing and a miss. A little foul tip, 1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
And of course, the other guy that's so important to this batting order, Gerald Clark, is starting to come around just a little bit. And when he gets healthy, then hopefully the whole lineup that the Rockies had thought would be all set will be healthy.
One-two pitch. And this could be 2. No, he's bobbled to go for 1, and he's got it. So Luis Lopez couldn't come up with it, and I'm not sure he even had a double play on it. And he gets Hayes at first. Galarraga moves over to second.
Now Charlie Hayes gets jammed just a little bit. Just kind of rolls the ball over to the right side, but Charlie, who's been sitting on that bicycle, probably glad that he can have that little jog down the first baseline.
And here's the shortstop, Vinny Castilla. Vinny hitting .310 in his last 10 ball games. No home runs, has a pair of RBIs. 1-0 the count. Galarraga the runner at second. Arias delivers, and it's a called strike. 1-1 to Castillo. Vinny played several years in the Mexican League. He was born on the 4th of July. And the 1-1 pitch. And it's low. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Castillo. Last year in 16 games with Atlanta, he hit .250. He was with Richmond AAA most of the year. He hit .252 with 7 home runs and 44 RBIs. And he is working that outside corner. And the reaction from the fans, it just doesn't look that effective a pitch when you're this far away from home plate.
Yeah, a lot of the umpires right behind home plate thought this pitch was outside, and it may have been.
But right now, Charlie Relaford, the home plate umpire, is giving him that outside corner. And deep in left center field and over the heads of the fielders, and 1 run will score. Here comes the big cat as Castilla has a double and the RBI. And the Rockies move on top by a score of 1-0.
Now, see if this is a hanging curveball. Let's watch it. There it is. It stays up, and Castilla jumped on it. See these hanging curveballs, and the hitter's eyes just get a little bit bigger.
And it's a 1-0 ball game. Rockies out in front. Here's the catcher, Jay Owens. And he fouls this one off. To conclude the story of Johnny Bench, he said he went down to the end of the dugout and just kind of waited there with a baseball when he was 6 years old, and Bench saw him. came running down and signed it for him.
And he walked right up to me. I said he grabbed his chest. He said, I couldn't believe it. As you asked him, he said, was Johnny Bench your idol? And he looked at you right in the eye and he said, I'm a catcher. Aren't I?
Yeah, that's right.
Meaning, of course.
Of course. Into right field, base hit. He'll hold the runner at third. So Castilla stays at third, moves from second to third. Jay Owens with a base hit to right. And that brings in the pitcher, Mark Knudsen. You agree with holding Castilla at third?
I do.
Why?
Well, Castilla got such a bad break. He didn't know if the right fielder was going to catch the ball or not. So once he hesitated, it's a pretty easy decision for Jerry Royster. If he doesn't hesitate, then you send him and he scores easily.
All right, we have one away, runners at the corners. A run in, Rockies out in front 1-0. Knocked down by the third baseman. A run will score. And he has the force at first. And Knudsen will get the RBI. The pitchers continue to help themselves in spring training.
Put the ball in play. You never know what may happen. The Higgins had a little trouble. If he feels it cleanly, they may turn a double play, but he recovers and he throws on in time to get Knudsen, but he gets the job done.
And the run scores a 2-0 ball game. Rockies lead, and here's Alex Cole, top of the order. And it is outside, ball one. So now with 2 away in the count, 1-0 to Alex Cole. Jay Owens is aboard at second. And the Rockies have 2 runs in the bottom of the second inning. And Greg Harris comes high. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Alex Cole is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He hit the first pitch of Greg Harris to a fly ball to left field. And this one is a called strike. Two and 1 to Alex Cole. And it is strike 2.
Excellent curveball from Greg Harris.
And there is Jay Owens, who is the base runner at second. And it's a foul ball. So the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alex Cole. And we have 2 away in the bottom of the second. Our next television game will be next Friday night at 7 o'clock. That's March the 26th, back here at I. Corbett Field in Tucson against the Seattle Mariners. Here's the pitch. And it is inside. So Alex Cole now with a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 away and a runner at second. And he catches him looking. Second strikeout in the ball game for San Diego. Luis Lopez, the second baseman, will start it off for the Padres. Mark Knudsen on the mound for the Colorado Rockies. He has walked 1. He has faced 7 batters through the first 2 innings. And Charlie Hayes is way in on the grass at third. 1-0 the count. Two and 0.
Either way the infield is set up, Charlie Hayes wanting to make sure that Lopez is not going to bunt one down the third baseline.
Called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike the count to Lopez. And he comes high, 3-1. You know, we always point out a little something for the youngsters when they're watching the telecast that play this great game of baseball. And one thing about Knudsen, he works quickly. Ground ball to the first baseman. Blocks it, picks it up, and the big cat makes the play unassisted.
He does work quickly.
Yes. Everybody likes that.
The infielders
love it, don't you?
really like it. Watch the big cat. If you can't catch it, block it. Keep it within the area. Always pick it up with your bare hand and then go to the bag.
Why pick it up with your bare hand?
Because if you pick it up with your bare hand, it's a lot easier to get a good grasp of it. If you're a third baseman, shortstop, or second baseman, and you need to get to the ball and throw it to first, if you pick it up with your bare hand, you already have it in your throwing hand.
Greg Harris, the pitcher, fouls it back. A ball and a strike to Harris.
See so many infielders, when they knock a ball down, they'll try to pick it up with their glove hand. Well, even if they do that successfully, they still have to get it to their throwing hand.
Here's the pitch. And it's a called strike. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Greg Harris. And Knudsen is high, and the count evens at 2-2. Knudsen can pitch his way onto the big ball club. And he strikes him out. That is the first strikeout in the ball game for Knudsen. He has walked 1. We have 2 away. We're in the 3rd.
Talked about that classic delivery, nice and smooth, and then you throw a fastball about knee high. And yes, it may be the starting pitcher, but nevertheless, it is a strikeout. Take a look at the bullpen. Think those guys are ready? No, maybe not.
No, not yet. Not yet. Rockies fans, Domino's and the Colorado Rockies have teamed up to offer you a Rockies pizza special for only $9.99. Here's Kevin Higgins, the third baseman. And he looks at a called strike. And every time you order a large one-item pizza, Domino's will donate a portion of each sale to the Rockies Youth Foundation. Call Domino's now and be sure to ask for the Rockies special. It's only $9.99. A ball and a strike to count to Kevin Higgins, top of the 3rd. And we have 2 away. And this one's fouled off. Have you figured out what topping you're going to ask for when we call Domino's from Mile High?
I got it.
You got it.
You bet.
Are you going to share it with me? Or
I will. Not at this time.
Not at this time, of course. Yes. We did an interview before the ball game, and everything. They wondered why we were so close, and now you know why. Right. We share almost everything. Here's the 1-2 pitch. The cat couldn't bring it. He went for it, and he couldn't bring it down. And Higgins is aboard with a single to right field.
Those are the types of plays, Charlie, if you're an infielder. Kind of cringe a little bit, wishing you'd have another shot at it, because let's face it, the spectacular play is one that you just come up a little bit short.
And that's the first hit off of Knudsen. And here's Craig Shipley, the shortstop. Here's the throw to first. And Higgins is back in time.
They do not show routine plays on SportsCenter. That's why the spectacular ones are the ones that are nice to make.
The play of the game is seen nationwide.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. And we had one last night.
Troy Ricker.
That great sliding catch in foul territory.
Down the right field line. Yes. What a play.
They're buzzing about it in the stands today. You know, those that were here that saw it, the players were talking about it. Strike off. 1-1 the count to Shipley. He's 0 for 1. Bounced out to Vinny Castillo, the shortstop.
Of course, the thing about it, Charlie, is Troy today back in the minor league camp.
Fly ball left field. Darrell Boston is there. And he makes the play. No runs on a hit. A man left with it. To lead off the bottom of the 3rd. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out in the bottom of the 1st. In the last 9 games, Mejia's been hitting .440 with 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and 9 RBIs over that streak. And in the spring, hitting overall .378 with 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, and a total of 3 doubles. And the 1-1 pitch. Oh, and that curveball is wicked.
Yeah, he's got an excellent curveball. Thing about Mejia is he steps in the bucket just a little bit. In other words, he takes that left foot and he steps just a little bit towards the third baseman. Willie Mays used to do that.
Only 20 years old. Soft looper. Lopez goes up and makes the play. And we have 1 away. Is that a tough play for the second baseman?
It can be, especially in Arizona when you have a lot of sun. And there's the step in the bucket and the extension and the nice play by Lopez. Sometimes the backgrounds are not very good in Arizona.
And with 1 away, here's the left fielder, Darrell Boston. He doubled in the bottom of the first, was left stranded at second, so he's 1 for 1 in the ballgame. That was his 3rd double in the spring. And now has hit safely in 10 of the 13 ball games that he has played. And he pops this one up. And the catcher, Dan Walters, makes the play. And we have 2 away. Continental Airlines, official airline of the Colorado Rockies, proving one airline can make a difference in Colorado. And with 2 down. Little frog have a little catch in my throat today.
You know what that is?
I know what it is.
It's day game after a night
game. That's right. And a long drive from Phoenix.
A long ride.
Long ride. That's right. You did drive last night and did a superb job.
We got there.
Thank you. Yes. I was a couple of times I was a little worried, but that was all right. Call strike.
It's about a 90-mile drive from Tucson to Phoenix, and it's all desert.
And it's
straight.
Could be a bit on the boring side. And a lot of traffic, though. That'll keep you away. Bichette is 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Here's the pitch. And he takes a cut and he misses.
Good changeup again by Greg Harris. Pitch that he's been working on. And judging by the way the hitters have been swinging at it, it's been effective.
Dante hitting .258 in the spring. Fly ball right field. And Kevin Ward makes the
very hard and dry. You will see a number of balls hit hard off of that ground and bounce over the third baseman's head. Take a look at it.
This will give you an idea just how hard the infield is. He just pounds it down and it takes off.
And for a third baseman, there is absolutely nothing you can do. So it'll be a double for Jarvis Brown, and Velasquez will be the hitter. Velasquez grounded out to second base, and he'd like to do that right now to advance that runner over to third. Guillermo Velasquez, 309 in Las Vegas last year. On the ground, the big cat cannot come up with it. And rounding third is Brown. He will score. And chugging into second is Velasquez, and he has a double. Back-to-back doubles, and the Padres are on the board. Brown's ball wasn't hit very hard. Velasquez's ball was smoked on the first baseline. And again, the big cat made a stab at it and came up empty. So that'll bring up the right-handed hitting Dan Walters. Walters grounded out to third. He is 0 for 1. And he tries to go the other way, and he pops it out of play. Talked about many of these players having played in Las Vegas last year, which is the home of the AAA franchise for the Padres. And Mark Knudsen spent the entire season at Las Vegas last year, so he is pitching against some of his former teammates. Knudsen was 11-7 in Las Vegas last year. The 0-1 pitch to Walters, and it's grounded. Castilla is going to go to third, and they're going to have him. That's the right play to make if that base runner makes a mistake, like Velasquez just did. If it's hit a little slower, that runner has a chance to get to third, and this is just bad base running. Castilla with the good throw, and Hayes with the tag. So now you take that runner out of scoring position, and you put a man on first base, and you have the double play in order. So that goes 6-5 on the putout. And here's Kevin Ward. That's down and away.
Bank One Colorado is proud to be the official bank of the Colorado Rockies. Bank One, whatever it takes. Member FDIC.
Kevin Ward spent some time with the Padres last year. Runners going. Line drive into center field, but Alex Cole is backpedal, and he makes the catch. Now, skipper Jim Riggleman putting on the hit and run. And Ward is retired. That's 2 down. Take a look at Dan Walters. He is not a base stealing threat. This is the hit and run, and once he sees that Alex Cole has a beat on it, he retreats back to first base. Roberto Mejia also trying to fake Walters out, thinking that it was a ground ball. Here's Pegues. He grounded out to short. He is 0 for 1, and that's a strike. Good curveball from Mark Knudsen. Two away here in the top of the 4th inning. Rockies leading 2-1. Padres on the board. Line drive, and this will fall. Cole will come up with it, get it back into the infield. Quick toss, and they almost caught Walters. In the inning, that's the 3rd base hit for the Padres. Alex Cole with a little quick toss here, Charlie. Walters just back in.
You know, we talked about the fact that Don Baylor has the ball club running and moving and not necessarily taking chances, but trying to keep the opposition off balance, and they're doing the same thing defensively. Always throwing behind the runner immediately. Make them think, make them stay closer to the bag. And it will pay off.
It will. All part of Baylor ball, as you see Lopez, who grounded out to Galarraga in the 3rd inning. 1 ball and no strikes to Luis Lopez. And that's right there, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Rockies scored 2 runs in the 2nd inning, and the Padres have scored a run here in the 4th. Padres this spring have a record of 9-6. The Rockies 8-8 with 1 tie.
And you might explain the tie.
The tie happened some days ago when both clubs decided that they had run out of pitchers. Outside corner, strike 2 called, and it's 1-2. Not unusual in spring training to see ties. Teams will come down to Tucson, and they'll only carry 4 pitchers, and once those 4 pitchers are used,
and use up their number of pitches that the ball club wants them to throw,
they will call the game. One ball and 2 strikes to Lopez. Walters is the base runner at second, and first is Pegues. Knutson to the plate. And inside as Lopez leaned in and then had to lean back out of the way.
An afternoon ball game today following a night ball game. Tough on the players?
Can be tough, but you have to get used to it. You're going to see it a lot during the regular season, and you might as well get used to it. I talked about it last night. It's a good idea to get used to the things that you're going to see happen. A change of the schedule is good.
It's a mindset.
It really is. And it's good for us too, because we're going to have to do it during the season. Inside again to Lopez, and now it's a full count.
It changes your whole routine.
It does. A number of teams, one of which, the San Francisco Giants, are playing nearly 70% of their games at home during the day. Runners will be going, and the pitch to Lopez, and he just got a piece of it, and Jay Owens could not hang on to it, so we'll do it all over again.
And the Rockies open up basically with day games.
5 day games in a row, with a couple of off days mixed in.
Open in New York on Monday, April 5th in the afternoon, then play on Wednesday afternoon at Shea Stadium.
Runners going, and this is grounded foul. Galarraga in foul territory.
Then an off day on the 8th and the home opener on the 9th. An afternoon game at 3, and then the 10th and 11th on the weekend.
And then the first night game will be on the 12th against the New York Mets. A lot of firsts that we will be seeing throughout the season.
Yes.
And that's what's going to make this whole season a ton of fun.
And a very special season.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Lopez. Runners again on the move, and Lopez pops it up. Who's got it? It's Charlie Hayes in foul territory, and he makes the catch. A run for the Padres on 3 hits. They strand 2 after 3.5 here in Tucson. It's the Rockies 2. 1 for the Rockies. And for the Rockies, it'll be Galarraga, Hayes, and Castilla. That'll come up to the plate. And we were talking about what a great year this is going to be, and you'd be surprised the number of people that come into contact with us that feel sorry for us. Geez, it's going to be a long year for you guys. You're not going to have any fun, and it really is just the opposite.
Exactly the opposite. It's going to be one of the most exciting years in all of sports.
You know, it's almost like they want to wrap their arms around you and say, oh, it's just too bad.
No, it's great.
Galarraga pops it up down the right field line, and with a whole bunch of people down there, they blocked off Velasquez, and he couldn't get to it. Now, that's what you're supposed to do in your home ballpark. Keep that guy away from the pop-ups. Get your photographers, get your bullpen people down there. Block him off. Look at that.
Well done.
Take a look at this photography. He moves right into him.
That was a nice move, wasn't it? Yes.
So the big cat gets another chance at it. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
There they are.
Now there is an area,
the Rocky defenders,
right at the end of the dugout for those guys, but with all the media here, just isn't enough room. Great play. Higgins got him. So Galarraga had another shot at it, and Higgins took a hit away from him.
And here is Kevin Higgins. When the ball came off of the bat, you thought automatically that he had the base hit. And Higgins wipes him out. Good play. Higgins has spent 4 years in the minors, and that was at Las Vegas last year. First team All-America at Arizona State.
How about that? Right down the road. Charlie Hayes grounded out to second base in the second inning. That for Charlie was his first at bat this spring.
But Don Baylor told us he wanted to have 2 at bats. I suspect he might want to have 3. What do you think?
Now, a lot of it will depend on how Charlie feels. I'm sure if Don Baylor checks in with Charlie will say no, it's fine. I think he would like to see Charlie get at least 2 and hopefully more. A ball and a strike. And the pitch to Charlie Hayes is in the dirt. If you're Charlie, obviously you'd like to have a soft left-hander out there for your first at-bat. Yes. Not a guy like Greg Harris, who can rush it up there and who also has an excellent curveball. Two-one pitch. Change up in there for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll talk about number of at-bats that the Rockies hitters have had. A lot of them in the high 30s. Hayes with a liner right at Higgins.
But a good swing.
Hitting it to the wrong guy.
Hurry into your local Front Range Jeep Eagle dealer and test drive the award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee and the all-new Eagle Vision. For the best in sales, service, and value, visit any Front Range Jeep Eagle dealer today.
Vinny Castilla will step up to the plate with 2 down. Some of the fans that have decided to come out to the ballpark. Castilla raised his average. See, he had 252 at the AAA level in Richmond. And Harris with the 0-1 pitch to Castilla. And that pitch is up high. Jay Owens is on deck. Castilla with a double that drove home a run back in the second. And the 1-1 offering is high and tight. 2 balls and 1 strike. Really had a strange game last night. I looked at the line score and the pitching line in the box score this morning, and the Rockies had no business winning that game. Chop to third, and Higgins is going to be involved in all 3 putouts, and that'll do it. So Sean Higgins, or Kevin Higgins, with a
hard to find it on the telephone.
It is. Here's Harris, grounds it up the middle and into center field. Greg Harris, the Padres pitcher, leads off with a single. Sometimes the best guy to make this play is the pitcher.
Try to reach on the backhand.
The old backhand wave.
That's right. That's the matador move.
If you square up properly, and most pitchers don't, but if you square up like they want you to, then that ball is hit right back at you. But if you fall off way to the side, it's going to be a base hit. Here's Kevin Higgins. Higgins with a single in the 3rd inning. Runner going. No one's covering second. And the ball goes into center field.
I tell you what, it was a great throw. Right on the bag.
Jay Owens is going to be charged with an error, but the error has to be a mental error on either the second baseman or the shortstop.
Left-hand hitter is the shortstop's responsibility to cover.
Well, in most cases it is, but you never quite know for sure. And when Owens let go of the ball, it was a perfect strike to second base, and no one was there. There's Owens coming out firing, and boy, what a strange sight when no one is covering. Into center field, Alex Cole coming in, and it'll fall, and here comes Harris, and he'll score, and the game is tied. So a mental mistake by a couple of guys playing up the middle enables the Padres to tie the score here in the 5th. And don't you know, it's eating that man alive.
Oh, yeah.
He can't stand that.
And these are the things that he harps on, talks about, works on every single day.
Shipley grounds it to the right side, where Mejia will make the play, and on the play Higgins goes to second. Ball not hit hard enough for Mejia to have any other play than the one he made. I have to tell you though, Charlie, it was about my third or fourth year in the major leagues, and it happened to me. I was supposed to cover second on the same play like that and did not do it.
You just fall asleep mentally? Is that
we got our signals crossed up. The guy I was playing shortstop with, his name was Tommy Verizor. Jarvis Brown is the hitter, and he takes a pitch outside. We had a man on first, and I looked at Verizor and I said to him, ball goes back to the pitcher, I've got it, and I pointed to my chest. What he thought is if the runner tries to steal, that I was covering. No one covered. Outside, and it's 2-0. So those things happen, and they shouldn't.
Rule of thumb: right-handed hitter, second baseman covers.
And a lot of it has to do, Charlie, with what type of pitch it's going to be. If it's going to be a fastball away to a right-handed hitter, then you're not going to have the second baseman cover. You're going to have the shortstop cover. So the Padres have tied it up here in the 5th inning. A couple of base hits and a critical error, mental error. Knutson to the plate. A liner. Hayes. Quick throw. Not in time, but they do get to 1 out. So Charlie Hayes, who still is in the game after his 2 at-bats, spears the line drive.
Since 1873. First, we'll take a look at the defensive play.
Jarvis Brown just hit a bullet, and Charlie Hayes got rid of it quickly. And here's Velasquez. Doubled in a run in the 4th. And that's a strike.
And now, if you're wondering what happened in 1873, since 1873, Coors Brewing Company has called Colorado its home. And today in Golden, Colorado, Coors operates the largest brewery in the world. Here's to you, Colorado.
0-1 pitch to the plate, and that's outside.
We got to go up there and take that tour of the brewery.
I think we will.
Yes.
I think we will. You're going to have me all over that stuff.
Oh yes, I would like it. I did a series for PBS all over the state of the Old West, all over the state of Colorado. Great history of the West.
Good changeup from Knutson, and it's 1-2. There are many people that feel that the error that was charged to Jay Owens is that baseball needs to have another stat, and it's called team error. In other words, you really can't blame Jay Owens.
He made the play.
So it would fall in the category of a team error.
You have team rebounding in basketball.
Right. On the ground, the big cat takes it on the big hop. He'll throw to Knutson covering, and that'll do it. However, the Padres do score a run. Padres tied 2-2, heading to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it will be Jay Owens. And we'll see if Don Baylor sends out a pinch hitter for Mark Knutson or not. First pitch to Jay Owens is down low for a ball, 1-0. We are told that the official score has given an error to Vinny Castilla for not covering second base. And that's chopped to the right side, where Harris kicks it, and Jay Owens is aboard. Harris could not come up with it cleanly, and Jay Owens, who runs well for a catcher, got down the line in a hurry.
And we will have a pinch hitter.
And it's Joe Girardi. Here's the attempt by Harris, and it looked like it started to go into the webbing of his glove, but did not stay there.
For the Rockies, batting for the pitcher,
So Owens is aboard.
Joe Girardi.
So here's Girardi, who was batting .316 this spring with no home runs or RBIs. They're giving Jay Owens a base hit. He is now 2 for 2. Swing and a miss. And it's no balls and 1 strike. And my opinion of giving Castilla an error is that I don't think it's a good call. I think that it's their fault, but physically they did not do anything wrong. Mentally, yes, we're talking major screw up. It's unfortunate that Jay Owens would be the guy tagged with the error, but the official score has decided that Vinny Castilla was the player that was supposed to be covering second base. My thoughts on that is maybe Mejia was the one that was supposed to be covering. So how can you give it to Castilla? 1 ball and 1 strike to Girardi. There's Owens, who is the base runner at first. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-2 tie. Girardi swings and misses again, and it's 1-2.
Remember Tuesday night when we talked with Jay Owens for the ball game? He had his game face on. And today, you know, starting this ball game, he was much looser, more relaxed.
And, you know, he said Meade really had to have a good outing. And I felt like I had to do everything I can to help him.
And he did.
5 shutout innings. You bet he did. Down and away to Girardi, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That is interesting. Baseball is so much of a team game, and yet statistically it is so much of an individual game.
That's right, and you always hope that you don't have a roster full of players that look at the stats every day. The superstars probably are going to. You need the guys that really want to help the team as opposed to worrying about the numbers. And, you know, we can talk forever about agents and arbitration and all of that, and a lot of that comes into play as well. Full count to Joe Girardi. We'll see if Don Baylor sends Jay Owens. He does. And it's outside. Actually, Owens did not go. He hesitated.
Good faith.
He tricked us. So the walk to Joe Girardi. First one issued by Greg Harris, and it'll be up to Alex Cole to see if he can help the team and possibly move those runners up 1 base. Alex Cole has flied out and struck out. And there's the pickoff play, and back is Jay Owens. Harris chose not to throw.
And Shipley was behind the runner.
You see Shipley. And Cole showing bunt. And the pitch is up high. So that gives you an idea what Don Baylor is thinking. And the Padres, of course, are going to try to defense the bunt. And Walters is going to come out, and he'll be the one that is going to signal to the infielders what play they're going to use.
And a reminder, Domino's Pizza and the Colorado Rockies have teamed up to offer you that Rockies Pizza Special for only $9.99.
Cole squares around, and it's 2 balls and no strike.
And every time you order a large one-item pizza, Domino's will donate a portion of each sale to the Rockies Youth Foundation. So call Domino's this afternoon. Be sure to ask for your Rockies Special. It's only $9.99.
Walters again going through the signs to his infielders. Alex Cole squares around, and he bunts it foul. The little things that Don Baylor has been harping on all spring. One of those little things is the situation right here. Trying to advance those runners by way of the sacrifice bunt. It's amazing how those little things win games, and how if you do not do them, has a negative effect. Line drive, base hit center field. Is Royster going to send Owens? He is not. The bases are loaded for Roberto Mejia. So Don Baylor took off the bunt sign and let Alex Cole swing away, and he took advantage of it. He roped a single into center field.
And you remember early in spring training when they were practicing, they were calling it slug bunting. This was the perfect situation of what was set up for them. You pull the infield in, and all you have to do is get that ball moving.
And slugged it. Mejia struck out and hit a soft line drive to second. An opportunity to get the Rockies in front. And the pitch is up high. It may be that Harris is tiring a little bit, because you see a lot of his pitches are up in the strike zone. Former Giant Scott Garrelts is warming up in the bullpen. That's a strike, says Charlie Relaford, the home plate umpire. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
In the spring, Mejia with 23 total bases. That's tied for second in the entire National League.
And that is amazing how a young man who hasn't played higher than A ball pops this one back and out of play, and he's already in the leaders here in spring training.
He has 14 hits. That is third in the National League.
Base runner at third is Jay Owens.
And his 10 RBIs tie him for second. And that's both in Arizona and Florida.
Girardi is at second. At first is Alex Cole. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Roberto Mejia. And the pitch, and it's fouled again. Remember, it was Mejia and Castilla that had the communication problem at second base that allowed the Padres to score the tying run. A chance for Mejia to possibly redeem himself. And he gets away from Walters, but he spots it, and it's 2-2. See a look at Jay Owens, who is aboard at third base. He led off this inning with an infield hit. Two balls and 2 strikes. Darryl Boston is on deck. Harris fidgeting on the mound, and now Mejia steps out. Two-two pitch. Line drive, and that'll be up the alley, and it could clear the bases. Owens scores. Girardi scores. Here comes Cole. The play is at third, and he's in there. Ball gets away. Here comes Mejia, and he's in there. Roberto Mejia continues to do it all.
And here is the young man. He's only 20 years old. He was signed when he was 16. With the bases loaded.
And in unison, there they go.
Here they come, and there they go. Here's the throw to third. And alertly up so quickly. I mean, he was not pausing at all. And the other good slide right under the catcher here. And it's a 6-2 ball game. The Rockies now lead by 4.
Get a pitch out over the plate. We talked about how he steps in the bucket a little bit, but he still gets good plate coverage. And then he just finds the alley in right center field. There's the cutoff play. It goes to the second baseman. His throw short hops and hits Mejia. And then with that pop-up slide, he gets up and he takes on the big Dan Walters, and he slides in between his legs. And If you're 20 years old, it barely bothers you.
That's right. And part of the great fun over the first few years of the Rockies franchise is going to be following the career of Roberto Mejia. He'll be at Colorado Springs in the AAA ball club.
Isn't that the truth?
But we will keep an eye on it. And you mentioned the pop-up slide. Let's go back to it.
And we talked about how sometimes this is a lost art, the proper way of sliding. Watch how quickly he gets up. He's gone. I mean, it's like he barely broke stride. So Scott Garrelts facing Darrell Boston with nobody out here in the 5th. And that's down low, 2-1. Garrelts, having spent his entire career with the San Francisco Giants, elbow problems the last 2 or 3 years, and he is trying to make a comeback. Garrelts always a guy that had a good fastball and a good split finger.
What does the split finger do? That's different.
A split finger is a pitch that goes straight down, and it has in the look of a fastball, so it just kind of drops out of the strike zone. Full count now to Darrell Boston, and he stays alive by popping it out of play.
Difference in the split finger and a sinker ball.
Sinker ball is a pitch that you really just throw naturally. And if you're a sinker ball pitcher, you're just blessed with that pitch. And there's a solid single into center field for Darrell Boston. And sinker ball pitcher just tries to keep the ball down. Many people feel that the split finger is a pitch that hurts your arm. Roger Craig always felt that it did not. But since he has left, the Giants are not allowing any of their young pitchers to throw it. So some people feel it does hurt their arm. Dante Bichette facing Garrelts, and the pitch is down and away. Dante is flied out and popped out. Garrelts now steps off. Darrell Boston this spring has 4 stolen bases, and he's been caught just 1 time. And that's outside to Bichette. 2 balls and no strike.
And those 4 stolen bases will tie him for second in the National League. Gerald Young leads that category with 6.
Gives you an idea about Baylor ball right there, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Line drive. And that's going to be up the alley. And Boston is letting it go. He rounds third. He will score, and Bichette is going to be caught. The throw to third, and he'll make it. The Padres had a chance to get Dante Bichette as he hesitated in between second and third, and they did not execute. Take a look at Dante Bichette as he just ropes this ball into right center field. And when you're that strong, it rolls all the way to the outfield. Ward to Lopez, and that's the double clutch right here. And the throw to second enabled Bichette to go to third. And the big cat will step up. Rockies lead 7-2. And this is dribbled out in front of the plate. Walters will go to first in time, and that is the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Charlie Hayes is going to have a chance to knock home Dante Bichette. Charlie has grounded out and lined out in his first 2 at-bats here in spring training. Charlie got jammed his first time up. Looked like he felt a lot more comfortable in his second at-bat. And that's a strike from Scott Garrelt. On deck is Vinny Castilla. Rockies have scored 5 times here in the 5th. And that curveball is down and away. The big blow, the triple by Roberto Mejia, cleared the bases. And for Mejia, that gives him 13 RBIs in spring training. Another good curveball, and Charlie Hayes backed off just a little bit, and now it's 1-2. Mejia is doing everything you're supposed to do to make the club, and unfortunately it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You're right. And everybody's going to say, why not? Why not? Well, it's just too big a jump for a 20-year-old.
And Charlie Hayes stays alive. And the fact that Eric Young is having a good spring too. So there really isn't any place that Mejia can play, and he needs to play. He needs the at-bats. He needs the experience at a higher level. Now, if something should happen, Mejia would be there to play second base if there were an injury. What you really want to do to a young player like Mejia, you want to let him go to a league and let him dominate that league. Let him put up such terrific numbers that when he gets finished at the end of the season, he's thinking to himself, can I ever play?
I'm ready. Yes.
Got him swinging. Charlie Hayes could not catch up to the fastball, and that's the first strikeout for Garrelt.
And of course, the one thing that you want to avoid is to bring him up, and all of a sudden he goes 0 for 24 at his first at bats. Then you have to send him down, and now you've got a whole rebuilding process.
And then you got a player that says, I can't play a lick.
Yeah. I thought I could, but good lands what has happened.
Castilla doubled home a run and is grounded out. 7-2, Rockies leading here in the 5th inning. And Castilla pops this pitch up, and it'll be into the bleachers along the right side. Down and away from Scott Garrelt. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the inning started off with an infield hit off the bat of Jay Owens. Girardi pinch hit for Knudsen. He walked. Cole single loading the bases, and then Mejia with the triple that knocked home 3, and he scored on a throwing error. Boston singled. He was doubled home by Bichette. Bichette goes to third. He is now standing there, and he's been there while Galarraga grounded out and Hayes struck out. 3-1 pitch. Grounded. This will be Shipley, who will throw across and is facing Dan Walters, and that pitch is outside. Sinking fastball for Ridenour. Good split finger and above average curveball. Dana Ridenour, 27 years old. He is 6'2", 205 pounds. And Walters high into left field. Darrell Boston, right near the foul line, makes the catch. 1 out. Walters retired. So Ridenour retires the first hitter that he faces. These are the numbers for the spring. No walks, which impresses everyone in camp, including yours truly. Ward looks at the breaking ball, which is outside, 1-0. Ward is grounded out and lined out. Kevin Ward. And this one is struck into center field. Alex Cole. At the track, makes the catch. 2 down. So quickly, Ridenour retires Walters and now Ward. And that'll bring up Steve Pegues. Alex Cole talking to Dante Bouchette and Darrell Boston. Pegues is grounded out in single. And he swings at a breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. Steve Pegues. Pitches down low. Luis Lopez is on deck. And that's hit in the air, and Alex Cole moves over into right center field and puts it away. A quick 3-up, 3-down inning for Dana Ridenour. We have played 5.5 with the Rockies leading 7-2.
Jay Owen.
Jeremy Hernandez is the new pitcher. There's a good-looking hat that just disappeared from us. See a lot of Rockies hats in Tucson, don't we?
You see them all over the country.
1-0 pitch to Jay Owens is inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Hernandez replaces Scott Garrelts. Likes to throw the forkball. Needs to keep it down in the strike zone for it to be effective. And now it's 3-0. The thing you hate to see is pitchers that allow more hits than innings pitched. And that was the trouble for Hernandez last year. And that's a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Last year for the Padres with a 4.17 ERA. Owens chops it. It's a fair ball. The long throw, and they just get him. John Higgins make that Kevin Higgins with a great play after setting himself and having to throw out Owens. When you go towards that line, each step you take makes that throw a little longer. And as we said, Owens gets down the line pretty good for a catcher. Here's Castellano. And he takes a strike. So Castellano is batting in the pitcher spot. And the pitcher Ridenour will be in Charlie Hayes' spot in the order, which is 6th. Pete Castellano, 237 this spring, 3 RBIs. He has played everywhere in the infield. Swing and a miss, and Hernandez with his first strikeout.
Rockies fans, now is a good time for you to break open an ice-cold Budweiser. Enjoy that fresh, pure, natural taste. Nothing beats a Bud.
Alex Cole will try to get something going after 2 are out here in the bottom of the 6th. Hernandez keeps the ball down, but it is out of the strike zone. 1 ball and no strike. Alex Cole is 1 for 3. See the guys in the truck messing with our replays.
That's
a little backward running in the outfield.
In case you have to cover somebody.
That's right. And of course, it's Charlie Hayes and Joe Girardi. 1 ball and 1 strike. Inside to Alex Cole, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Alex Cole with a big single to load the bases in the 5th inning, where the Rockies scored 5 times. 2-1 pitch. Check swing. Cole got a late jump, and consequently Hernandez has an easy play. If Cole broken immediately, it may have been different. A quick inning for Jeremy Hernandez. We've played 6 here in Tucson, Arizona. It's the Rockies 7.
Smith is now the catcher for the Colorado Rockies. And he replaces Jay Owens. And for the Padres, it'll be Luis Lopes. The second baseman. And he looks at a call strike.
One thing that Dana Ridenour has done is he has let the Padres put the ball in play.
That's what you want to do.
And if you've got a team behind you that can catch the ball, and thus far the Rockies have done that, it is a good idea. Obviously, you don't want to set it on a tee for them.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The bottom of the 5th, the big inning for the Colorado Rockies with 5 runs on 5 hits. And the shortstop goes out. The center fielder, Alex Cole, calls him off and makes the play. And we have 1 away.
Looks like Gerald Young is coming to the game to replace Alex Cole.
So Gerald Young comes in center field.
Your attention, please. For the Padres, batting for the pitcher.
Jim Tuffle will be the hitter for San Diego. In the number 9 spot. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. And Tuffle fouls it out of play.
A good look at 27-year-old Dana Ridenour. Has yet to experience what it's like to pitch in the major leagues. And I'm sure he, like many of the players in camp, feel like this is a great opportunity for them.
And he just misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Tuffle. Strike 2. Count evens at 2-2. 1 away. We're in the top of the 7th inning. And the Colorado Rockies out in front of the Padres by a score of 7-2. Our next television game will be next Friday night at 7 o'clock. That's March the 26th here at High Corbett Field in Tucson. The Rockies against the Seattle Mariners. And again next Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Also playing the Mariners here at High Corbett Field. Full count now to Tim Tuffle. 1 away. We're in the top of the 7th inning. And he fouls this one back.
Of all the outs that Ridenour for the Padres, they have all hit the ball in the air. 2 pop-ups and 2 fly balls.
Continental Airlines, official airline of the Colorado Rockies, proving 1 airline can make a difference in Colorado. And he walks it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. For the Rockies, now playing center field, batting number 1. Number 2, Gerald Young. Now
So Tim Tuffle is aboard on the walk.
Number 11, the catcher, Brad Asma.
And the hitter is Kevin Higgins. The attendance 7,967, 7,967. Another great crowd here at High Corbett Field in Tucson. And the pitch to Higgins is outside.
Now what Ridenour needs right here is to try to come up with a pitch where he can get Higgins to hit the ball on the ground. See if you can get your infield to help you out by turning the double play.
Higgins is 2 for 3, has a pair of singles in the ball game, and the pitch is outside again. 2-0 the count.
One thing you cannot do, Charlie, is start walking a lot of people when you have a 5-run lead. Make them earn their way to first base.
Little comebacker to second. There's one. That's going to be off. Not that good a throw from Ridenauer to the shortstop, Vinny Castilla. They take the force at second. And Tuffle is out of there. We have 2 away, and Higgins is aboard on the fielder's choice.
I doubt Charlie Ridenauer had a chance to turn the double play, but what was close to happening is Ridenauer throwing the ball into center field. You need to make sure you get at least 1 out. You cannot keep the inning going by giving the opposition extra outs.
And for the Padres, here's their shortstop, Craig Shipley. He is 0 for 3. He's bounced out twice and also hit a fly ball to left. And we have 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Higgins, the base runner at first. And a base hit into right field. And Bichette kind of kicks it. Higgins goes all the way to third and Shipley to second.
Now Dante backed up on it, fell out of his glove, and then realizing that there was a runner cruising around third, had to get it back into the infield as quickly as he could.
And so now with 2 away, the Padres have runners at second and third. Higgins at third, Shipley at second. And Jarvis Brown, the center fielder, is the hitter. Rockies lead by 5, 7-2. And it's a called strike to Jarvis Brown. And it's outside.
I think if you're Dana Ridenauer, you don't want this inning to go much longer. Jarvis Brown, right-handed hitter. Go after him. Don't lose him. That way you won't have to face the left-handed hitting Velasquez.
Osmus lets it get away, chases it down. There'll be no play at the plate as the runner stays at third. And Ridenauer came off of the mound immediately.
Good play by Kevin Higgins, the base runner at third. Unless you know that you can make it, there's no sense in taking a chance when you're down 7-2. I think there's a fine line between being aggressive and playing smart baseball.
2-1 pitch. Base hit into left. 2 runs are going to score as the Padres narrow the margin and Jarvis Brown picks up a pair of RBI. So it's now a 7-4 ball game. The Rockies lead.
See Castellano with the dive, but by that time the ball was by him. And then Darrell Boston smartly just gets the ball in and throws it to second base. Keep that base runner out of scoring position. You see so many outfielders that will come up and make a wild throw to home plate, not having any chance at all, and it allows that hitter to end up standing on second. You do not want that to happen.
And a throw to first, and Brown is back in time. Guillermo Velasquez is the hitter. He is 1 for 3 in the ballgame, has a double. Takes a big cut and he misses. So the Rockies' margin now has been cut by 2. They lead 7-4. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Runner is going. Here's the throw. And not in time. And Jarvis Brown is a stolen base.
See, Jarvis Brown, good start. Straight to the bag. And a good throw by Brad Osmus, but it's not in time. See Osmus come out of there. He's quick as a cat. But Jarvis stole that off of Ridenauer.
And the 0-2 pitch is foul back off of the end of the bat.
Classic case of an emergency swing with 2 strikes.
Yes.
I don't know how well I'm going to hit this, but I have to swing at it because it's too close to take.
It's right on the edge of the strike zone.
And sometimes you can look so bad. But the bottom line is he's got another swing.
0-2 the count, 2 away. Jarvis Brown, the runner at second. 1 ball, 2 strikes again. So Ridenauer is struggling here a bit in the top of the 7th inning. And he strikes him out. 7th inning, the Rockies lead by 3, 7-4.
The second baseman, Roberto Mejia.
And for San Diego, Gene Harris is now on the mound.
Take a look at Harris's numbers. High ERA. He has only pitched 6 innings, allowed 6 earned runs.
And here's Roberto Mejia.
Seems like he's up every inning, doesn't he?
He has been up, as a matter of fact, every other inning. Striking out in the first, a soft liner to second in the third. That triple and the 3 RBIs, and then he scored on the throwing error. One ball, 2 strikes again.
And I think you made a great point, Charlie, when you said, isn't it going to be fun watching this young man develop? And that's part of the fun we talked about, being part of this whole new experience. Watching these young players turn into be excellent major leaguers.
2-2 pitch. And he cannot come up with it. And Mejia is aboard with an infield hit.
Now, when you're having one of those kind of springs, things like this happen. And for Roberto Mejia, he is having one of those kind of springs. This is an infield hit. Not much Higgins can do. It's all or nothing.
How tough is that play for the third baseman?
It's extremely tough because you have to catch it and throw it on the run in the same motion.
Mejia has a stolen base this year. The hitter is Darrell Boston. Boston is 2 for 3, and he has scored a run. And Harris misses outside ball 1.
Now Harris has some major league experience. He's been in the big leagues with the Seattle Mariners parts of 89, 90, 91, and last year.
Pitch out, he was not going.
Finished up with the Padres last year by going 0-2 with a 2.95 ERA. It appears that Harris is in that man's plans, Jim Riggleman.
2-0, good pitch to go in.
Well, when we've seen Baylor ball, I think it is.
He's not going, it's a call strike.
But sometimes, Charlie, the exception to the rule is if you have that first baseman holding on the runner, you have that hole for that left-handed hitter to shoot at.
There's a look at it. And of course, if the runner goes, the first baseman comes out. That cuts down the area of the possible hit into right field. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Darrell Boston. Gene Harris on the mound. And Mejia's back in town.
I played with guys, Charlie, that if they were left-handed hitters and that situation was there with that man on first, they did not want that runner going. They wanted that hole.
Looked at first. Mejia leading off the bottom of the 7th inning with a single. And the hitter is Darrell Boston. How distracting for the hitter.
Well, it can be distracting, but I think what you do is you end up realizing that they're going to keep an eye on Mejia. You just have to put it out of your mind.
Runner is going, and it's a foul ball. Got a pretty good jump.
Good jump and a good pitch for Darrell Boston to hit. And he just got out in front of it a little bit and fouled it. There's the jump. Quick, compact, and a foul ball. And if you go 2-1, I don't know. 2-2's not a bad pitch to go on either.
Two balls, 2 strikes to count. Lob throw to first, and Mejia's back in plenty of time.
You see what Darrell Boston is doing. He said, all right, now I have to step out of the box and gather my thoughts together because it's starting to affect me. So you have all the right in the world to do that.
And Harris wanders off for the rubber. Now he comes back. Mejia edges off of first, and Boston stands in. And the pitch is low, and the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Darrell Boston. Nobody out, and Mejia the runner at first.
Now with the count 3-2, you can be assured that Mejia is going to be going.
This one is lined into right field. Right to Kevin Ward, and we have 1 away. Had the hit on the RBI in the 5th. And the count is 1-0. We have 1 away. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And it's low and outside. And the count 2 balls, no strikes to Bichette.
One thing that Dante Bichette is going to have to do, and it'll take some time, is he's going to have to learn the entire National League pitching corps.
Runner is going, and a fly ball deep right field, and it is over the head of Kevin Ward. And Mejia rounds third and heads for home. Here is the throw. It is in time. The tag, the ball gets away from the catcher. He's safe. Here comes Bichette around third to home. And he is tagged out. So Mejia scores. Bichette will get a double.
Take a look at Mejia. He stops right here and tries to pick up the ball. What he needs to do is keep his eye on Jerry Royster. Royster will tell him what's going on. And then a good play in the outfield. Watch the relays. This one is going to go to third or make that home. And what Mejia did is he kicked the ball out of Walter's glove. Here's Bichette. And he went on his own. Royster did not send him. And he was a dead duck.
And tagged out by Gene Harris, the pitcher.
But
Andres Galarraga is now the batter.
Bichette with an RBI.
His second of the ballgame.
On the double.
And the Rockies lead 8-4. And we have 2 away and an 0-2 count to Galarraga. So Baylor ball is exciting.
It is. I'm telling you.
Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. The Big Cat 1 for 3 in the ball game. Scored a run in the bottom of the second. And he strikes him out of the Colorado Rockies.
Some changes for the Colorado Rockies. Jeff Parrott will be the new pitcher. Parrott. And looking around, it looks like Braulio Castillo will be in left field. There's Parrott. 6 ERA in 4 innings, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. He's only walked a couple. 31 years old for Jeff Parrott. 6'3", 195 pounds. Good fastball. Likes to challenge hitters. As I mentioned, Castillo in left. And I believe that's all the changes.
And Jeff Parrott deals to Dan Walters. We talked to Parrott before the ball game. Says he had his game shave on. He didn't shave today. A lot of pitchers like not to shave before, right?
Yeah, well, you know, it's something you can do if you're a starter because you know when you're going to pitch.
Now, as a reliever, though, he knew that he was going to be pitching today because we're in spring training, of course, and the pitching rotation is set up.
He's on the list. Now, if
regular season, he might go a week.
He might go a long. He might have a beard.
Have a beard. That's right. We'll talk to him about that.
That's right.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's foul back.
He and Brent Smith were the 2 guys that shaved their beards. Camp Open and Don Baylor decided that he liked the clean-shaven look.
And let the record show he did not say get rid of the beard. He just said, I don't particularly like beards. And this is through. Castellano. And Walters will be aboard.
Anytime you see a ball go right through an infielder, you immediately think error. But I've played on these Arizona infields, and I got to tell you something.
Too.
This is a tough play.
All right, you be the official score.
Well, I think it has to be an error because it's right at you. But nevertheless, it'll make an infielder shake your head.
And here is Jim Vatcher. Now the center fielder for the Padres. And Dan Walters is aboard. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Strike call. There are no outs. And the Rockies lead the Padres by a score of 8-4. And you kind of feel sorry for the San Diego fans because they're not going to have a lot to cheer for. On the other hand, the Rockies fans are going to have everything to cheer for.
Now they, of course, have got 3 exceptionally talented offensive players in Sheffield, McGriff, and Darren Jackson. But that's not going to be enough.
Don't forget Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn, they've got 4.
Yes. High fly ball, deep left field. Castillo makes the play. And we have one away.
How can you forget Tony Gwynn?
Well, you did.
I did.
That's why I'm here.
But nevertheless, it's going to take more than 4 guys.
E4 on your last statement, but that's all right.
My license plate. And one of the problems is, as you talk about E4, is strength up the middle.
Here's Steve Pegues with one away. To right field. In force.
The full roster. My wife Michelle on the left, my daughter Dannon in the middle, and then hiding behind there, it's my son Cole. This is their last full day in Tucson. They'll be going back tomorrow.
You've not been feeding Cole this week?
Oh, man. Can they eat at the ballpark or what? We're talking $30 a day. They love that food at the ballpark.
Oh, that's great. Oh, yes.
Why not? We did too.
Is it too soon? We don't want to jinx anybody, but is it too soon to say that we are going for a 5-0 on television in the spring for the Rockies?
Well, I don't think it's too soon. I think it's 3 outs away.
And Braulio Castillo in left field to lead it off.
Braulio's still a candidate for that 5th outfield spot that's open.
And the toss is way high.
They can tag him, and he's going to be out.
Because he made a move to second?
He made a slight move towards second base, and the first base umpire, Ed Rapuano, said, you don't have to make much of a move, but if you make an attempt like you're going to go to second, they can tag you out.
An error on the throw. And then he gets tagged down, and we have one away. And here's Vinny Castilla with a base hit right down the right field line. And so with one down, Castilla is aboard. And here's the catcher, Brad Osmus. And his first at bat in the ball game. So Castillo, Castilla, and Castellano are all 3 in the ball game. First time the Rockies played the San Diego Padres. Jerry Coleman, their broadcaster, had this same situation, and he said, whatever happened to Jones, Brown, and Smith? Padres broadcasters here in force. Jerry, of course, Bob Chandler, and Ted Leitner. Little number back to the mound. And we have 2 away. Castilla moves down to second. And that'll bring up Pedro Castellano. Bottom of the 8th inning. Rockies out in front by 4, 8-4. 8 runs, another big hit afternoon. 12 hits for the Rockies. The Padres have 4 runs on 8 hits. Come visit your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer, where you'll find great deals on the hottest lineup for '93 during the biggest little car blowout going on right now. 2 away. And the count of the plate is 2 balls and no strikes. Don't forget our next television game next Friday night. Broadcast time will be 7 o'clock. It'll be the Seattle Mariners and the Colorado Rockies. And then our last game from Tucson will be next Saturday at 1 o'clock, the Mariners and the Rockies here at High Corbett Field. The next weekend, of course, Saturday and Sunday in Minnesota against the Twins, just outside. And then the opener in Shea Stadium against the New York Mets on Monday, the historic day of April the 5th. The home opener the following Friday on April 9th. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball, right field. And Ward chases it and makes the play in fair territory to retire the side. So after 8 are complete, the Rockies lead at 8-4. Jeff Parrott, the third pitcher of the afternoon for the Rockies. Mark Knudsen started it. Dana Ryden now. And now Jeff Parrott. The big inning for the Rockies this afternoon was the 5th when they scored 5 runs on 5 hits. And again, we have been blessed with some exciting baseball this afternoon. Strike call. 1-1. The count to Ricky Gutierrez. Ball 2.
Parrott trying to work the outside corner, and he just missed. The thing about Jeff Parrott, he is one of those guys that likes the work. He needs to work. He becomes a better pitcher if he does that.
And he's going to give up a base hit to right field. So Gutierrez is aboard. And we'll move to the top of the order for San Diego. And the hitter will be the third baseman, Kevin Higgins. Parrott was the setup man for Eckersley with the A's.
Pitched a lot of games, a lot of innings.
They're going to miss him.
They are going to miss him. He's really surprised that the A's did not show much interest in re-signing Jeff Parrott.
And Parrott very happy to be with the Rockies. Fun young man to be around. Always has a smile on his face.
Also has that veteran influence that you really like to have on a young team.
Don't get too high when you win. Don't get too low when you lose. It's a long season. 0-1 pitch. Higgins takes a cut and he misses. Strike 2. Parrott has been in this position on television with us before when he's come in the late innings with a lead, and he told us, you just don't want to lose it. No. Then you feel kind of silly outside.
And again, a lot of times pitchers have to be used a lot to be effective. And I think Parrott was real happy last year, the number of games that Tony La Russa used him in.
Ricky Gutierrez, the runner at first. And the pitch is low. 2-2 the count. Nobody out top of the 9th. Gutierrez with a single is aboard at first. And the Rockies lead 8-4. Foul ball. Castellano tries to edge into the dugout. Leans over. Does not make the play.
Right over by our third base camera. Watch, this is the well for the photographers. And Castellano got over there, but it was a difficult play.
Different going into the opposition's dugout and going into your own. You're going to get some help. They'll talk to you and they'll be there to brace you or to catch if you fall.
Visiting?
They'll leave you alone. It's lonely.
You can crash and burn for a long time over there.
Probably a wild pitch. And Gutierrez moves down to second.
This ball will get away from Brad Osmus in the dirt. He tries to backhand it as opposed to shuffling his feet and getting in front of it using his chest protector.
Three balls, 2 strikes to count to Kevin Higgins. Fly ball down the left field line, foul territory. Castillo chases it, and he cannot make the play. Call the Rocky Mountain News Classifieds at 892-7111. 892-7111 to buy it, sell it, or find a job quick. That's the Rocky Mountain News Classifieds. That number again is 892-7111. 7111. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count to Higgins. Nobody out here in the top of the ninth. Gutierrez is aboard at second. And here is a base hit to right, and that is going to score a run. And it's now an 8-5 ball game. So Gutierrez scores from second. And Higgins is aboard, and that will bring up the shortstop, Craig Shipley. Shipley is 1 for 4. He had a single in the 7th. He also scored one of the Padres' 5 runs. The Rockies now leading by 3, 8-5. And nobody out here in the top of the ninth. The run in, and Higgins is aboard at first. And there's the call strike. Could be 2. There is 1. Double play. So Mejia steps on the bag and then throws to Galarraga for the double play. And the hitter will be Tom Lampkin. So now with 2 away, here's the pitch to Lampkin, and it's a call strike. So Parrott gives up a pair of singles and a run, and then he gets Shipley to hit into the double play. And the pitch to Lampkin is high. A ball and a strike to Tom Lampkin. Top of the 9th inning, an 8-5 ball game. Rockies out in front. And you can tell by the smile of Don Baylor that he does enjoy winning. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Pitch. And a base hit into right field, and Lampkin will head for second as Bichette chases it down in the corner. Now he goes to third, and he has a stand-up triple. So Lampkin is the runner at third, and that'll bring up the first baseman.
Now, sometimes that last one is the toughest out to get. Here's a good pitch by Jeff Parrott, and all Lampkin does is reach down and drill it down the right field line. Bichette in the corner hits the cutoff man, but Lampkin goes into third with a triple.
And the hitter is Guillermo Velasquez, the first baseman. He has 1 hit in the ballgame. That was a double in the 4th. And it's a call strike. He was on a fielder's choice in a force play in the 1st, had the double in the 4th, bounced out in the 5th, struck out in the 7th. And Parrott really fooled.
Really did. To a ball in the dirt. And boy, those low ball hitters will chase that ball down because that's their bread and butter.
0-2 the count at the plate. Lampkin is the runner at third for San Diego. 2 away. Top of the 9th, and the Rockies are out in front by 3. And the pitch is high. It was on a 1-2 pitch a moment ago that Lampkin hit the triple down the line in right field. And this one goes through the catcher. And another run will score. An 8-6 ball game. And the 2-2 pitch. And it's fouled away. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he just misses. And it's a full count to Velasquez.
You know, that's a case right there where you hear fans say, boy, that umpire just wants to go home. Well, he could have gone home right there.
You're right. And he strikes him out to end the ball game. But not before the Padres make it interesting in the top of the 9th inning. The final score, the Rockies 8 and the Padres 6, and on television.